Yes! Here we go!
Hey man, it's crazy out here, RJ. Do you remember the time when LeBron James used to toss his chalk out there
He still does.
like this, like this?
Yeah.
He still does, yes, because I have one of him doing that at LA Lakers.
Yeah.
But what if what if a trafficker does that?
A trafficker.
What if a trafficker of the Betty White does that? What have you ever seen that happen in real time?
No, I can't say I did though.
A good thing you didn't see it because probably you would have had to. And let's not go there. Let's not go there. Anyway, there was this trafficker in Argentina, man. There was this trafficker in Argentina, and basically she got stopped by the police at a local gas station while she was filling up some gas. And then suddenly this happened. Fair use.
Okay, I see two people. They're just walking around.
They're just
So the
walking
lady is the
around.
one in their car, right?
She just got stopped by the police and she has 20 kilos in the car. She has 20 kilos. There's nothing happening still.
Yeah. So she opened the
And
hood of
then,
the car.
yeah, you ask yourself, when is it going to happen? When is she going to
And the
toss
cop,
the power?
and who's the cop? Is the cop isn't there yet, right?
The cops aren't there yet, but they're trying to get everything started. And then all of a sudden, oh, it takes a little bit more long, bit longer than I thought. Should have started it a bit later in the video. By the way, she was traveling with her kids. So
Okay.
first of all,
Are the kids those on the street there?
yes, those are the kids on the street in the back. Two of them are disabled. So she was trying to basically move some keys in order to pay for
Yo.
pay for the kids. So this is what happened. Her car basically exploded with all the keys in it.
With all the keys in it. I thought you said the kids.
No, 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 the keys, not the kids. The kids
All
were
right.
out.
All right.
Well, the keys are the kids as well. You got to protect them with your life.
That's true.
Otherwise, the one who basically pay for it might come to get you.
Mhm.
But it's about $1.2 million worth of keys that was basically tossed up in the sky like LeBron James.
All right. Okay, now I get the analogy you want to make. All right. So that's she has big she's in real big trouble right now. I
Yeah,
assume.
yeah,
Uh,
she is.
and do they know what happened?
No, that's not clear yet what really happened. The only thing they have is basically she got arrested because they basically found out it was basically packaged drugs in yellow paper, and she's not snitching either.
Okay. So she can't snitch. I mean, they're gonna there's just more reasons for
To
them
do
to
what they
come
do.
after them. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so she's being charged with transporting narcotics, and according to the Buenos Aires Herald, the sources from the police forces said that the sergeant of the local, because it's not it's a local situation. It's like a a smaller, one of the smallest cities. Because I mean, can't call it. It's a smaller city. Basically, she wasn't the only one arrested. The local police force was also involved for corruption, and they basically gave her. They haven't locked her up because her kids are disabled. So in order to take care of the kids while the trial is going on, they gave her a chance to keep an eye on the kids while she has house arrest.
All right.
But so
A
Chris,
tough day. Tough day. Tough day.
tough day, tough day.
I have to say that in that moment, you need to be mindful, not mindful, but it's a risk, right? So you're when you're in that world and you're basically moving other people's products and other people's money. Something like that happens, you're in big trouble. Now, I think that the fact that there is a video, at least there's the video footage. At least they know it really happened. So
That's
maybe that.
always.
Yeah, because if she didn't have evidence. Now, the conspiracy theorist in me is thinking, what if she took the Betty White out, put some other things in it, went to a gas station and let it explode on purpose?
They tested it out. So wait, well, you gotta. Oh, okay. You probably mean she cut it up with basically put powders with a couple of packs,
Yeah,
mix
for
it a
example.
little bit.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Who
But,
knows? Hey
but it's
man.
like it's like it's makes me brings me back to a case I had about. So back when I used to do criminal law cases,
Mhm.
and I didn't like it. But at the beginning, it was very interesting. I have to say that in school, criminal law is probably the most interesting.
Mm.
Uh,
Why?
so because it's straightforward, because it's clear and simple, and the cases are always very interesting, right? So it's always something that gets you going. When you talk
Mm.
about corporate law, about documents, contracts, resolutions, shareholders meetings, that's boring. But if you talk about criminal law, robbery, there was a break-in, there was a hold-up. That's always interesting because there are a lot of things that play a role. And I remember I had a case where the person who so the client that I was assisting was a very young guy, but very wise guy. And you could see that he it wasn't his first time. So at that point he was probably 24. And he was just denying. You know what they say, deny till you die. So he was just
Mhm.
denying. And they said, hey, but we found this. We have all the indication is, so like it was a bag of Betty White, and it was
Mhm.
like all the indication is yours, is that the the product is yours.
Mhm.
No, it's not mine. Okay. And they started explaining the story, right? And explaining
Mhm.
everything they had and all the evidence. And this person said you were there. He thought he saw you there. No, it can be. I wasn't there. It was dark. So he was just
How did
denying.
you know it was dark?
No, because they basically told the story. So
Oh, okay, okay,
basically,
okay,
they were
okay.
basically what do you say, recreating the
Oh,
scene.
okay. Yeah.
And he was just saying no, no, no. Hey, but uh, your phone. There's a WhatsApp here to use, and I lost my phone like a month ago. Anyway, deny, deny, deny. And but when I heard what they had on him, I was like, this guy probably doesn't stand a chance. They let him go because they didn't have enough on him. 3 days later, they call me up. I was like, hi, oh, how are you, sir? Yeah, I'm calling you for this person. He said, okay, but I thought he already left. Yeah, this is something else. I was like, again. So I
Oh,
went there.
that's
So
crazy.
So I went there. I went to check on the. So yeah, on the client, and I was like, "Hey, you're here again." He was like, "Yeah, they got me on some bogus charges again." I was like, "Okay, let's start." Interrogation started. Sir, there was a holdup in a bar
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. We have footage that shows that you were there. It was like I wasn't there. They showed the footage. It was a guy that looked like him, but he had a mask on.
Uh,
That's not me. Said, okay, but sir, we found a duffel bag. And in the duffel bag, no, no, we found a wallet and a phone. And the wallet is yours and the phone too. He was like, yeah, but I told you last time I lost my phone. It's not mine. It's probably the person who stole my wallet and
that's a
phone.
good one. That's a good one.
It's like, okay, but we have you on recording because they were tapping the phone.
Mm.
Press the phone. When I heard a voice, I mean, to me, it sounded like it was him, right? He said, "That's not me." You don't think that sounds like you? No, at all. Not at all. They let him go again.
Again.
Yeah, and so that's a very peculiar story because usually when you have Betty Whites and things like that, you can, if you have it, it's yours. Then it's just we see that you have it, we determine that it was in your possession, so it's yours. Same goes with an illegal firearm. So but in this case, they never really got him really in possession with the things. So
Mm.
it everything pointed, I mean, it everything pointed in his direction, but I guess he was telling the truth, man, because
Hey, as one great defendant once says, oh no, it wasn't. It was a lawyer. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
yes, yes, yes.
That's not the show, man.
Hey, let's go. Let me see.
Let's do this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's do this. Guys, welcome to another edition of the Double Thought Show. If this is your first time watching and you haven't subscribed yet, please remember to do so. We see that a lot of you guys watch but aren't subscribed. So do us a big favor and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you stay up to date when we drop new videos. Again, a lot of you watch, and maybe because you're seeing the videos pop up on your screen, and you watch us, you check out the shorts because we see an increase in that, so we know that you're watching. You might think, oh, that's enough, but to us, it would you would be doing us a huge favor if you subscribe to this channel. We have a good couple of topics to discuss in today's show. We're gonna start off by talking about the. Let me see if I have the right one open. KR, I have to say, I'm trying to work on my multitasking. We're gonna talk about the YSL tri lawyer, so-called LeBron James of the legal world, being arrested on gang charges. Larsa Pippen and Marcus broke up. Are we surprised? Rachel Dolezal is now on OnlyFans. To me, that's a big surprise. And I'm going to tell you guys why later on in the show. And last but not least, we're going to talk about Monique's son, who spoke out against her narrative. Hey, this is a crazy world, and the more topics the more we're covering these topics, and the more shows we're recording, the crazier the stories get. Or maybe it's just that we're getting, a deeper understanding of things. But this world is a crazy world, so please, 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 please remember to engage with us during the show. Comment, let us know your thoughts and your opinions, whether you agree or disagree with us. Remember as well to share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. And don't forget to like the video so the video gets shown to more people. With that being said, I think we can move on to the LeBron James of the. Did it?
LeBron James. Hey, wait. What is LeBron James? The LeBron James of the legal world, also known as Nicole Fegan. Yesterday,
Wait, I can let you do this, Claire. If you can't, no. For the sake of equality, I cannot let you do this. Who's the equivalent of LeBron James in the WNBA? Because that's who you should be calling her. Go.
is it the woman that got arrested in Russia? Oh, she's well known.
The closest one, man. That's the closest one.
Notice, I didn't know her name. The-
Oh man.
Ah!
Oh, man.
I don't know her name, but anyway, this is the article she quoted herself. Look at this. This is her IG page, and she
Oh, she,
basically was promoting this. She
oh,
has
she
an
was called.
IG.
Okay.
You think I'm putting tags on people?
Yep.
Well, I usually put tags on people,
Yeah,
but no, in
that's
this case, I was just copying. She's basically one of the lawyers that was in the YSL trial. The YSL trial, RJ, there's like 20, 30 people being indicted, being charged with being part of a criminal organization.
yep.
And well, she was defending one of those guys. Um, the guy she was defending, I have always problems with exotic names. So please help me with this one. The guy is named, his name is,
Show it to me and I'll pronounce it.
his name is, I think, Tanquarius Mander. Some
Ah,
I have a strong feeling that he might be the 10th kid. So shout out to five
yo.
Quarius, five Quarius, four Quarius, three Quarius,
No,
one
no, no, no.
Quarius.
The
Oh no.
fifth one is probably called Pentaquarius.
You're trying to get me canceled right here because the thing you just said, you know, you know damn well that these people, yo, I said these people. Oh my God, you're trying to get me canceled.
At
Hey,
this point, you might be doing it yourself, man. Let's go.
you're setting me up for failure. Tanquarius, she was basically the lawyer of Tanquarius, and she's apparently she's a good lawyer. She's good at what she does, but she has questionable things on her Instagram. Let's take a quick look at her real quick before we tell the rest of the story. Hey, tell me your RJ. Tell me your view on what you're about to see as a lawyer.
Okay.
As a lawyer, she's
Come on.
promoting herself towards. I mean, I mean, the opening was crazy because we started talking about the Argentinian LeBron James. Now we're talking about the American female legal LeBron James. You told the story about your past as a criminal lawyer,
Yeah.
which I didn't expect you to talk about that, but she's a criminal lawyer as well, and so you can basically see how she promotes herself. Give me your opinion on this.
All right.
Can you hear this?
People play gangsta and police games at the same time. That shit is weird. That shit is weird. People play gangsta and police games at the same time. That shit is weird. That shit is weird.
This was
So,
dropped.
so what is she saying? People play gangster and police at the same time?
People play gangsta and police games at the
People play gangster and police games at the same time. That
Okay.
shit is weird. That shit is weird. That's what
Okay.
she said.
same time. That shit is weird. That shit is
Okay,
weird.
that's what she dropped the day before she got arrested.
Okay. Okay, get out of the camera, man. That's it. Move on to the next one. The hell is that?
It's a prop. It's a prop. It's a prop because the next
Yeah,
one,
yeah, but I don't know if it's a problem. I mean, this YouTube as well, right? So
yeah. So it's a prop. It's a prop because she tags RJR prop ATL. She went to she knows who her target group is because she went there and bought some stacks so you can take pictures with it.
does she also have a money phone? A picture with a money phone?
Well, she has one holding a stack, not with a money phone though. I didn't select that one.
Close enough. Close enough.
Enough, close enough. It's near her ear.
You, you know what the problem is?
Tell me.
KR, if you're gonna, as a lawyer, you're gonna brand yourself like that, you're basically helping the prosecutors build a case against you.
If you do something weird, and we're gonna talk
Yeah,
about what she did.
because if no, but they just need a motive, or not a motive, a link, something to link you with the group, and then you'd have a big problem. In my opinion, it's important to stay professional. It's also good for yourself, for, let's say, your own safety, I believe, because usually the lawyer is an independent person that represent somebody, or somebody in court, right? So even in a criminal case, if I'm there as a lawyer and I'm suited up, I am there and I talk legalese, use legal jargon, it's clear that I'm a professional doing my job. So to the oppositions of my client,
Are you talking about the DA as an op?
yeah,
Is it fatty?
no, I'm just no, not yet, not yet. I want to see how that one plays out. No, but I'm saying if there's like a war against two groups, you don't want to be seen as part of the group. And that's basically what I mean. That it's very important to stay neutral. Well, you're not neutral. You're actually representing a party. So the judge is neutral, supposed to be. You're not. But it's important to stay professional, though.
Judge
And
neutral these days?
the judge is neutral, yeah.
On paper, you mean?
I mean, they're supposed. That's why I said they're supposed to be.
We're
Hey,
going to talk about the neutral judge in the next show on Thursday. A judge got jumped. Do you think she's neutral after the?
come on.
Watch Thursdays, guys. Watch on Thursday.
Oh, man. Yeah.
No, but all jokes aside, let's continue browsing her IG, and then we're gonna talk about what she actually did. So she's here giving her, let's say, her future clients some advice from a lawyer's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Got Proof Chronicles. All weekend I saw videos of rappers going back and forth talking shit and threatening each other. And there's two.
Is that a bonnet or is that a shower cap?
Same difference, man.
Yep.
Hey, she's pulling a Hillary Clinton.
She got it. So her slogan got proof.
Yeah.
Question
No,
mark.
but remember on the Breakfast Club when they asked her, when she was basically campaigning, and they asked her what she always has in her bag.
Didn't she say watermelon?
She said hot sauce, man.
Oh, it was hot sauce. Yeah.
That would have been.
So I thought she said watermelon and offered those guys a watermelon, but I guess
No. She said hot sauce.
Ah,
And Charlie was like, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, Hillary, some people might think that you're pampering or pandering to the black community, and she said,
yeah, that was crazy.
Is it working? Yo,
Yeah, shout out to Hillary. That was crazy.
yeah,
The
yeah,
fact those guys stood there and laughed weather. I
yeah,
thought it was they were cooked after that one.
yeah. But I mean, this girl, this lawyer is always also seemingly using that same tactic. I have to say.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Get it how you live, as they say in the streets.
Things I want
That's
to
how
say
they
about
say.
it. One is if you're not really about that life, then you just gave the state their entire discovery packet. Like, even if you didn't pull the trigger, they're still gonna say you called the shot. You're gonna be in court watching your videos, looking back like, damn. And two is if you were about that life, then you wouldn't even talk about it. Got
The crazy thing is, one thing is she's missing. In a lot of, have you ever noticed? Have you ever noticed? Maybe it's me. You make jokes sometimes about me being a man or with an eye for details. I always have. It's like the OCD in me. Have you ever noticed the alarm sound when it's missing? The battery is almost low. It starts
Mm-hmm.
peeping, right? Have you
Mm-hmm.
noticed that in a lot of black videos, there seems
Mm-hmm.
to be a reoccurring sound. That's, I think,
Yeah.
what she's missing to really reach the target group.
Well, she's trying to compensate with it with the phone pay the phone
Maybe
alerts.
maybe that's why I made the joke. That made me think of
Wow.
it. Oh man, but hey, she is. So the story goes as follows. According to Fulton County, where basically she's being arrested. She allegedly provided information she had learned during a preliminary hearing relating to a pew pew advised the suspect, who was not represented by her at the time.
Mm.
And she told them to dispose of his phone as police were going to arrest him. Not related to YSL. This happened in 2022.
Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm.
So,
Is this the reason why,
yep,
or was this the?
this is the reason why. So it's a previous case
Yeah.
where she assisted a criminal or a suspected criminal and advised him to basically get rid of evidence.
Yeah. And you know what the you
Real quick.
what?
I said, flush it to the toilet real quick.
Yeah. You know what it is, KR? He wouldn't have approached her if she wasn't a lawyer. And she couldn't have told her what to do if she wasn't a lawyer. So so basically in that capacity, they were a lawyer suspect or but it's just that because officially she never made sure to let that man sign an engagement letter that confirms the relationship between the attorney client relationship.
Mm-hmm.
What she did is being so the advice she gave to dispose of the evidence is being qualified as simply corroborating or assisting and thus being part of the operation.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So the only thing that's missing is the official establishment. That's why I care when people call, and like I said, I don't do criminal law anymore, but in general law, when people ask me to, so they call and they want advice by phone, I never give it. You know why? I would be give well, first they didn't pay. Second, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Secondly, no, come on. Secondly, the second reason is because the um first they didn't pay. Second, is because we don't have an attorney-client relationship,
Mm.
and you're gonna tell me your side of the story by phone without any evidence, and then ask me something. If I tell you, yeah, you can do this or you can do that, what ends up happening is that if that person didn't tell me everything, I gave an advice based on half of the information, and
Mm.
that advice turns out to be wrong, that person will go around and say, no, I'm, I'm not saying that person will sue, but
Mm.
the rumor will spread, oh, he's not a good lawyer. Well, and that's what I said. The paying is basically, I make a joke. Well, it's not a joke actually. It's
Not
very
a joke.
serious.
I hope it's not a joke.
It's not a joke because hey, you need to invest in something that's worth. If it's worth it, you're gonna pay for it. So
Hey man, I hope she got that. I hope she got a lot of that merch, that God proof merch, and start wearing it to the court next upcoming months. Because
mhm.
let's see if they have proof on her. Otherwise, she might join. I don't know the other guy's name. They got arrested for that other case, but she might join him as part of a gang. I guess YSL is a gang, and she is part of another gang. Got proof.
I must say though, she can really. I mean, her team, or at least her. I don't know if she has a team, but they can really leverage the situation, right? If they're smart, they can start the merch because that's probably what she was doing.
Free, free Nico.
No, God proof. That's what the God proof.
Hey
God
man, hey
proof
man.
bonus.
Let's see how she ends up. Wish her all the luck, cause luck
Actually, will need.
she will need. Hey man, Larsa Pippen. Talking about luck or God proof. Which one is it? What I do know, I don't know which one, but what I do know is Scotty is out here smoking a cigar and posting, you gotta boss up quietly. They already don't like you. A couple of
Mhm.
days, and this he happens to post it a couple of days after the news broke that the son of his number one op was folding his former his former wife
Mhm.
like a love letter from the
Mhm.
sixth grade.
Yeah, it's. I think it's. Um, Everyone knew that this was. Uh, how do you call it? That was just a plan. It's just like
Inevitable. It was
no, no,
inevitable
not inevitable. So everyone knew that the relationship was just for clout.
for clout.
I
And
ho- I
definitely
hope
on
I
her on her
hope
side.
I hope Marcus did too.
Do you think who
But
do
then
you
it,
think proposed to him to marry?
I, I
Who
can't I
who's the
can't
best of the two?
care. I can't live in a world where that is where it. I can't live in a world where a Marcus Jordan would really think that a Larsa Pippen loves her for who he is.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you think in general kids that are born in wealth are delusional? More delusional than other people?
He's not a kid though.
No, I'm talking about the origin of the story. He's
Yeah.
born in wealth. He never had seen this. I don't want to say it like this. He never seen the streets.
Yeah.
He's
I don't know.
born. He's been flying. I think he's been flying private his whole life.
Yeah.
This first 10, 20 years of his life, he's been flying private.
Yeah. I don't know if delusional is the word, but
The Lulu then.
the yo, no man. I'm just saying I'm just saying I don't think she has a I think kids who are born in wealth are in general they do live in a bubble. Let me
They
put it like
live, yeah, yeah. Okay, maybe that's not delusion. It's living in a bubble. Potato, potato.
that. Yeah, but again, he's a grown up. So at one, I would assume that at this point he would have. So the bubble,
Maybe the
or
bubble
at
bursts
least
right now.
layers of the bubble was have been burst. I would think. In any case, KR, I know what you.
Come on, man. Probably it bursted now. Yeah,
did
I
they
do.
s- did they cite why the breakup happened?
I don't see. I don't see clear. It doesn't say clearly. So it seems like they all of a sudden stopped following each other on Instagram, and they weren't seen during the Super Bowl together, Super Bowl weekend, and yeah. They were what's the report is they're trying to keep it on the down low because of the rift between.
The
That's what it
rift.
says. Rift, yeah, rift.
What
So
does
it's
that
not,
mean? At the
kind
risk
of
of
friction.
sounding, yeah, friction. Okay.
Friction, I think. It's kind of a friction, so it's not clear what happened, but we'll know close enough. I think Larsa has a podcast, so hey, new stories to tell.
Yeah. Well, we all saw it coming, and
Well, I think we all saw it coming. She saw it coming as well on her face. Oh no, that's another show. Uh,
God, no.
no. There was another show. My bad, my bad. What I was trying to say was
No. Oh, oh my
Future
God.
saw it coming as well. That was what I was trying to say. He had seen the future. Shout
Oh
out
my
to Future.
God.
Ah, let's see what.
Where do we go from here, man? That's
Hey, we go from here. Where do we go from here? Hey, what do you think will be what I heard was that fans are saying they might get together. It's just a down period between the
who,
two.
who's saying that?
Friends, unnamed friends. They want to stay anonymous.
Well, maybe they saw what happened with the Breakfast Club and Jazz Hilarious as well, right? So Jess Hilarious was about to become the third host, and then she went live and talked ish about them. People were really commenting and saying, "Oh yes, the Breakfast Club this, Jess Hilarious that. She fumbled the bag. Charlemagne is this, Envy is that." And like a week later, it was announced that it went through or not. And that's a good way. I mean, if that's not a way to get attention, I don't know what is. So it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Hollywood is weird, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if
Holly,
the
Holly weird is weird. You said
yeah, sure, same difference again, man. So
no.
Hollywood is weird. I think it wouldn't surprise me if this is just like a stunt to get attention, and next week we'll hear that they got married.
In that case, I wish Jordan, not Michael, but little Jordan, all the luck. Because Marcus, luck you will need.
Yes, yes.
Hey man, you want to say something to the people who's watching so far?
Yeah, guys. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Remember to comment. Let us know what you think about the topics we discuss. If there are topics you want us to discuss, let us know that as well. Don't forget to like the video, share with your friends, your family, and your enemies. And last but not least, don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, man. I think with that being said,
Here we go.
Here we go. Oh no, wrong one. Wrong story. Rachel. Rachel was was a topic. She was the first, one of the first women to step out and admit she is a white woman, no, a black woman living in a white body.
Nope. You have to say it correctly.
Okay.
Trapped.
Oh,
And no,
trap. Yeah. That was. She was. Some people get trapped in the closet. She got trapped in a white
in the
body. A couple of years back, she was basically the talk of the town when she was perpetrating being black for the longest while being part of the double NCAA, I think, right? NCAA. My bad. It wasn't NCAA. What the heck am I talking about?
I say NAACP.
On NW. Yeah. unless
Uh,
unless like also what,
I
what am I
mean that's
talking
a
about?
I
At
mean
least I know myself.
that's a hell of a resume, right? NCAA, NAACP, OF,
Oh, F. Hey, you gotta get it how you live. But yeah,
EH.
she got fired after it was revealed that she was actually not black. She was actually wearing the braids, having like a bit of a tan as well. She seemed light skinned, so she put some tan on, and she got fired after that. And now she works at a elementary school.
At a school, yeah.
She works at a school, and
But so KR, they fired her because of the skin, because they found out she was white,
because she
posing
was
as black.
yeah, because she was white acting as a black.
So what they call cultural misappropriation, something like that. That's what it's called, right? Are you laughing? Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, yeah,
Cultural myths.
yeah. It is. It is. It is. It is.
Yo, KR.
Oh man.
Did she do blackface? I mean, what she did? Can
That's why I'm laughing because I don't know if it's blackface or
did we?
if she was white. So I mean, all these terms the people created throughout the years, right? If she
Yeah,
was acting white and then she had the braids, then it's cultural misappropriation. But if she was tanning her face as well, does it become, does that become a blackface?
yeah.
Yo, there's levels to this. There's levels. Hey,
But
man.
yeah, I'll just say this so that we can continue. The whole cultural misappropriation theory is doesn't make sense to me because all cultures copy from one another. Now, I have to say that if we're talking about cool cultures, the black culture is a very cool culture. Let's
Yeah,
say
it is.
well, I would say visually, um, when you go deeper into it, like every other culture, it has some things that are, let's say, questionable to say the least. But I think a lot of people would agree that cool, when you think about cool, you think about black culture, or at least uh, black a culture that's heavily influenced.
Yeah.
Another culture that I think is cool is the um, I think South Korean. They're also like pretty stylish and it's like, but that's a different kind of
Different kind,
style.
yeah.
Yeah. So there are certain cultures that are cool, but everyone picks from one another. And the whole thing about there was this whole discussion about dreadlocks because a white woman had dreadlocks and a black man said that's not right. You took it from us.
Mm.
And then she said, no, actually, you took it from the Vikings because they were dreadlocking before that. So, I mean, the
Well,
whole
she goes to that
discussion.
role, and it becomes like a victim race. It's the
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a bigger one. No, it's not a
Hey.
there.
And at the end of the day, we'll all end up at one. We'll all end up at the same place in history. Lucy, the first female, at least the one they call the mother of all humanity, Lucy.
Where's the father? Let's continue. Was Lucy? Was Lucy?
Hey, let's go on with this. Nothing you say now.
One thing. We praise Lucy, but where's the father? Even when Lucy is around, they're trying to minimize, marginalize the fathers.
Mm,
Find Lucy's husband or the donor.
yeah, no.
That's fine. But one thing I want to say, and that's always funny about cultural misappropriation, is people say you stole the dreadlocks, but technically it's a race to the bottom, right? Because what I think, it's always funny when people point out that dreadlocks um are a creation of black people. So there's always someone coming out of the left field pointing out to to,
Mm.
to the straight hair,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
to the wigs.
yeah,
Yo. And so, hey, the comments are always litty
yeah.
on Instagram. Anyway, Rachel's basically Rachel has the OnlyFans, man. She's also on a payroll of Sunrise Drive Elementary School as an after school instructor. So she's basically doing the OnlyFans stuff, and it seems like what they say is she's not really posting like corn. Um she's more posting like tutorials and sometimes some bikini pics, but it's not really like like
Explicit.
explicit stuff.
Yeah, but at that point, she still had a day job. Now let's see. Let's see how the rebranding
Let's
will
see
go.
how that goes, man.
But
It's
but actually, OF. I've been thinking about this a lot here. OF is just a platform, and you can do basically
Mhm.
whatever you want on it.
That's how it started.
Some people have platforms, some people so podcasts, some people do cooking shows, etc. So, but it just has a negative connotation with it. I think there are a lot of UFC fighters who also have OF accounts, but it's what you choose to show on it, right? But
Yep.
I think because it can be it's very broad, and you can also do things. Let's say you can pay, you can watch corn on it, so you can pay for corn. Then it
Corn
has
on the
that
cob.
it yeah. So
Um,
then it has a negative connotation. But
yeah,
in
that's
any
true. It
case,
didn't start that way, by the way. In the beginning of OF, it was basically, like you said, a platform for people, for creators to share, um, let's say, private content that you don't want to share with everyone. And then suddenly, a let's call it a worker, a sex worker, thought, "Hey, this is the perfect way to do it. We don't have to put it on at one of those other websites
yeah,
anymore. We can control the narrative ourselves and get
PH.
100% of the well, that's not 100% because they get a piece of it, OF, but we can get a majority of the money. And
Yeah,
since then, it was yeah, it's where we are at now.
yeah. But for the platform, OF did a good job because it separated itself by adopting other rules. And the way the world is going, the way things are more, people are becoming more open to these things. People regard things like this as less of a issue. Remember when tattoos were an issue, KR? When you couldn't get hired if you had a tattoo, and now with a tattoo, there's probably somewhere a quote. There's like a uh, all inclusion. So the inclusion guidelines
Mhm.
that probably has a required percentage of that person as well. So
Yeah.
I think this it we're
Times have
going
changed.
in
You're right.
we're going
You're
in
right.
that direction. We're going in that
People are
direction.
getting
So
broker and broker, so they have
yeah,
to find a way to make money and
yeah,
easy money in that.
yeah. So in
It's
the
like
past,
is OF. That's I have a question for you. I have a question for you. Is OF the equivalent of drug dealers for men? For women, OF is OF for women the equivalent of drug dealing for men.
in what aspect?
Once you do OF as a woman, and I'm talking about not the Rachel Dolezal type of content. I'm talking about on the cop kind of content. You cannot do you cannot get a maybe not a normal job anymore. The income is quick money in a short period of time because of course there is a expiry date on OF as well. Um, it might stain your future relationships with people. All the above.
I don't think you can compare it. I don't
Right.
think you can compare it. It's more well. First off, OF people don't get murked. Second of all,
Well,
the
well. You want me to talk about it?
I mean, are you going to talk about one
There were
instance
at
where it
least
happened?
two cases where stalkers.
Whoa. But then it's different. But then you also have stalkers that stalk celebrities, etc.
Okay,
So
okay.
I don't see it as the same. Definitely don't. It's not illegal, but it is frowned upon. So you can call it immoral maybe, but you can call it illegal.
Mm.
Uh, and in the case of drugs, it's also illegal, right? So you can go to jail for OF. You can go to jail, but it does limit your possibilities in the future. Should it be like that? I think you can I think when you decide to do OF, you need to be conscious that after OF, there are two possibilities for you. Well, aside from OF, so you
I want
either
to
go
hear
the
this. I want to hear this
you either go
possibility.
the you either go the business route, right?
Which
So
business?
and I'm talking about corn on the cob type of
Oh,
OF,
okay,
right
okay,
there.
okay.
So if you go that route, then you need to be in that industry. So, I mean, there are a lot of industries that are open to you. Um, you have the the art industry, so no one's gonna bat an eye if you become an artist, if you are a musician and can sing. If you are mainstream, is very difficult for you to go. But I'm talking about creating your own platform, right?
Mhm.
No one's gonna bat an well. You can sell clothes. Maybe you can start a clothing line. You can start a production company. You can start a podcast. There are a lot of options. You can even transition to sex advice or relationship advice. People, not that this what because it fits with your brand
Mm.
to a certain extent, right? Um, but corporate is that so that's one option. And if you're gonna need a job, then that job's probably gonna be waiting tables or something, or at a back office someplace. But not you'll never you won't get a C-level job. It will be well, never say never, right? But it's gonna be almost impossible to get a C-level job, almost impossible to get a management job, almost impossible to you can get a job at the government. So that's those are the two routes.
Schools,
Yeah, school.
teachers.
So those are the two routes.
Yeah.
Now, in Rachel Dolezal's situation, if she wasn't really posting inappropriate things, it can be frowned upon. Eh, I understand why, because if you hear that she's on OF, you're like, oh no, that's impossible. I don't want my child near her.
Yeah.
But if she was only posting things that she could have been posting on IG as well, only thing is she's getting money for it, then I don't like technically I don't see what's really wrong with that. I wouldn't I would be uncomfortable, but if you like rationalistic, there's
Understand.
nothing really wrong with it.
Not
Yeah.
the same. It's not the same. It's not like the mom who was basically driving around with her OF handle on the car while dropping her kid at school.
Is that a true story or are you making a joke?
Do I
It's
look like I'm smiling? Do you think like I'm joking? Your kid got
oh yeah,
expelled from the school for that.
yeah, I can imagine.
Imagine your mom goes to the school and start promoting her OF website. So the kids at your school go to her website to for her to earn money on your dime because you're the one who's gonna get bullied.
Yep.
Great mom, mom of the year, man. Mom of the year. Also who's
Was
also
that
mom of the year?
was that the category? Was
You
that
know,
the OF category?
I'm not. I don't know. I don't know. Who's also mom of the year?
Tell me.
Monique.
Okay.
You see that transition right there? Flawless. Flawless. What wasn't flawless is what Monique was telling about her relationship with her son. She went on Club Shay Shay, and according to her son, what was said was not correct. Did you hear the story? Heard what he said?
Yeah, I heard what he said. In essence,
Should I play it?
uh,
It's
yeah, let's
long,
play it.
bro. Let's play it.
Yeah, well, let's just talk about it and then play it for a bit.
Yeah.
Because, or we can just so start talk about it, play it, react, but we don't need to watch the full clip. But I think the essence of what he was saying was that basically she he thinks that Monique was talking about three kids, but he's the fourth one. And
Her daddy was shooting shots.
yeah, daddy.
Her
I can't
dad-
believe they. I don't know why they're calling the man daddy. Because daddy
that's
for
the weirdest thing.
yeah, for those of you who don't know, daddy is who is how her husband is being referred as daddy. Because Monique has apparently or at least everywhere she goes, the man goes. But hey, let's. I think they can talk. The videos can explain better what the
Yeah,
situation.
let's watch the response of her and her dad.
When I hear my son, when I hear you, Shalon, talk about money
Fair use, by the way.
and stuff, it's like, baby, as I told you when you were younger, I told you as a man, don't let nobody introduce you to me. You know who your mama is.
And when folks speak in reference to calling your seed, sometimes, especially when your seed decided to call things off with you because you didn't move for a 34-year-old, 32-year-old man in the time that he wanted to do, because you as a mother, you as an entertainer, you as an actress, you as a grandmother, you as a wife, allotted the time to see him, but he pushed you away. But then when it's time for him and it doesn't work for you, now it's a problem. Listen, it comes a point in time where when you become a man, when you become a woman, it is your obligation to do for you. To do for you. At 31, brother, 32, I'm sitting there on a conversation at the behest of your mother. Why? For you, because I love my nephew, and we still love you, Shalom. That's why your mother and your father interact with one another, to let them be aware of what's happening with you. So if you think you're not loved, that's because you're not paying attention. And there are other dynamics that fall into play, in which we completely understand. And for you too, we're going to keep the light on for you. But I find it extremely ironic
Ooh.
that the last time you saw me, you wanted to be able to call me dad.
Mm,
The ether that burns slow
mm.
is, for lack of I don't know the guy's name, by the way. What's the guy's name? Because I'm not gonna call this dude daddy. Shalom, man. Yes, too many people
Yo.
calling him daddy. The man, is this a slow way, a eaterish way to call someone a
Bum.
bum or how do you say that? H-bay ass dude?
HB. HB, yeah.
H-bay ass dude? Is this a slow way to call it? A nice way to say you're H-bay? Stop being an H-bay?
I think that
Wait, before you say, by the way he said you want to call me daddy, that's a disrespectful way.
no, 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 no.
His mom
Dad.
called it dad. Oh,
Dad is what he
he
said.
said that. He said daddy, right?
Nope, he said dad.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. I mean, you can check it out in the
I have to
background if you want.
refresh everything and
Yeah,
re-listen.
yeah, but I mean, you can check it out in the background while we're proceeding. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he said
Okay.
dad.
Take the wheel.
Yeah. Well, your question to me was whether I believe that's a slow way to cook him, and I well, it is a slow way. If you see how Monique and her husband talk,
Can you hear it? By the way.
no.
No.
If you see how they talk, they oftentimes talk. So they tell the story, and they always say, "Yeah, we're here. We love you. We love everyone. We love black people. We love, but we need to keep each other accountable." And in light of that, dot dot dot, fill in blank, right?
Mhm.
I think, like I said in the last show, or at least the last show we talked about, the previous show where we talked about Monique, everyone is saying that the man is a leech in the sense that he doesn't have anything for his own, of his own. He is with Monique, and because of Monique, he has the lifestyle he does. If you have to believe DL Hughley was saying that he asked, and I'm gonna paraphrase, what type of man would let her wife go bankrupt or lose her house, something to that extent,
Mm.
right? And so I find it a bit ironic that he's saying what he's saying because he wouldn't have the lifestyle he has without the man, without Monique, right? So it's a bit ironic. Is he
What
telling?
what was he doing before he married her?
Okay, so that's what I was about to say next.
Okay.
I don't have the impression that he was a bum before
Yeah.
that. I don't have the impression that he was homeless before that or living with his mom. You can clearly see that the man does have certain uh he's straight. He's a straight shooter, right? Straight arrow. So that does tell me that he has a backbone. Whether you agree or disagree, he does have a backbone. But he wasn't living the life that he's living.
That's why they try to break him.
Yeah. But um I think that what he was saying is, as a 30 something year old, you should be able to at least get a car, but on your own. And you know what it is? You know, no, but KR, you know what it is? There's even a chance that he could have gotten a car on his own, but he wanted a particular car. And I think that's basically the moral of the story. You need to be able to buy what you can afford. And if you can't afford a Hummer, for example, not saying that he was going for a Hummer, but if you can't afford a Hummer, you shouldn't be asking people to help you buy a Hummer. If you can afford a Toyota, a very um, reliable car, a car that won't break down as easily, then you should buy that. But if you want something more, you need to work to get that and not ask people to help you with it. And I do agree with that point of view. I don't think, to be fair to them, I don't think that they,
With them in this case. Just to be
Monique and the
sure.
husband,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, because I don't think that they would have said anything about the kid if he, so this son, if he hadn't gone on live first.
Probably
So,
not.
yeah. So if you're gonna go on live, I do think that you need to be, don't throw, what do they say? Uh if you have a glass house, don't throw stones,
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. Yeah. So you need to fix your own things first. But that's why I don't agree with this whole online thing, this whole going back and forth online thing. If it's a
That's
public issue,
true, right?
handle it publicly, because the fact of the matter is, a lot of time these type of cases, these types of situations are very complicated, and especially in a family setting. And I think Monique alluded to this as well, that at the beginning she wasn't a good mother. She said so herself. uh there's a lot of trauma, a lot of layers.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get older, you need to break those layers. You need to pierce right through them, and or else you'll stay stuck in a particular place in your life. And I feel like the son is stuck. He's still, I mean, he went on and talked about the mom, but I think, I mean, he should have, yeah, I mean, at this point, I would just, okay, you want to talk, okay, okay, I guess this is what I'm trying to say. No one would have known he existed if he hadn't talked. So he could have just let it slide. That's what I was saying. But
Yeah.
now you went on and make things more ugly. I do have to say though, in that same breath, I think it's Monique that should be talking and not him, because it's a mother and son relationship. Unless he was also trying to get him. I mean, if you're gonna ask, if during the last conversation he asked, so the son asked Monique's husband to call him dad, or that he wanted to, I don't get if it was like a family thing, or uh, uh, uh like a like he wanted to him to adopt him, or he just simply wanted to call him a dad,
Mm-hmm.
his dad or something. I don't know what he meant with that exactly, but to be at that stage in your life where you're willing to call someone else, you're thinking of calling someone else your dad, while you have a dad and you have a relationship with your dad. It does tell me something about the type of relationship that you have with each other.
Or it
And
yourself.
well, no, with each other as well, right? I mean, if you have like a biological father, but you have someone who really raised you, then, so that's what I'm alluding to. I
Mm,
can then in that instance, I can say, you know what? To me, you're my father. I'm gonna call you my father, because you were basically my father. You were always there for me. So that's more what I was referring to.
mm.
Uh, but yeah, it's a shame that they do this publicly.
Publicly. I
This,
mean, these are private matters, dude. I think it's very. It's like you know what I always think is weird, but maybe people can also comment in the give some comments on this down below. Like when people go on social media, so not only Instagram, TikTok, they go on social media, press record, and start crying
yeah,
about whatever stories. That's very weird to me.
yeah,
It's like you're seeking attention. You're seeking that. People feel pity for you and talk to you, send you messages like, "Are you okay?"
I mean, if you're talking and you're crying, so if you're talking about something that you're emotional about and you get emotional and start crying, it's different than press and record and just cry.
Within 10 seconds. If you're crying within 10 seconds of the video, I think you're weird and should be locked up with the
Yeah.
with the crazies.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it's a weird world. Weird world out there. And this is the same thing. It's a private matter. I mean, you shouldn't be talking on this, like you said. If he wouldn't said something, no one wouldn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's trying to cloud chase. Hey, everyone is cloud chasing these days. He wants to get his money up so he can buy that Ferrari, that Rari.
Yeah. Yeah. But as it relates to Monique and her husband, I do think it's like I said in the last show as well. It's women often get criticized because they're alone, right? Successful women get criticized because they're alone.
Mm-hmm.
And he was here we have a woman who is still, I consider, successful, still a big name. I think that and we talked about it last week as well. If she start a podcast, it's gonna get 500K within seconds.
They should start
That's
doing
just
themselves stuff.
I think she would. I think she would. But it's always waiting for the gatekeeper. Now, content creation is extremely, extremely, extremely tough.
Mhm.
It's very hard. People underestimate it. You need
Yep.
to be really committed. But I think she has the personality that people like, and she has leadership qualities, right? But the fact that they are still together despite everything, because there are a lot of people are criticizing them. They don't want the man in the meetings. Hey, she feels safe with a man. They stick together, and that's something that we should applaud. We should applaud in a society where people are always getting, criticized for not being together or not being relationship material and so on and so forth.
Not
So I
able to
think,
find their own person, as they
yeah.
say.
So you can criticize something, but I think that's the fair. You should be fair. If it's something that I don't agree with, I see it. But if there's something that I agree with, I do. And
Yeah.
sometimes in this world, it's like you can't say it because it's either you're pro or against. And again, the world is too complicated
It's a
to just
great.
do
It's a very great. I do agree with you on that. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. I definitely agree with you on that. It's a gray area. Everyone think it's like a one mold for everyone. There isn't. You should tweak it. You should tweak the relationship so it fits. In this case, I think she found. So one thing from watching that interview with Shannon and also watching her interact with her husband, what you see is she's found a person which, like you said, she feels safe around. She feels that he has her best interest at heart, and that's why she lets him lead, and that's why she lets him talk for her, which is quite crazy because a lot of times we are used to, in this case, like you said, the woman would have to talk to her son, but she lets him talk, which it's might seem fringy, but I'll say this: 30 years ago, 40 years ago, this would have been normal. So that tells you maybe they're old school. Think about that. She's about 50, 60, something like that.
Yeah. And contrary to Steve Harvey's relationship, I don't think he was a drug.
What did you say? Can you repeat that again? Hey, let's one last thing before we before we close the show out. Talking about relationships. Talking about relationships. I've been cheating on my wife for the last 3 years. So I came across this story on the internet, and I want you and people who are watching. I want your input on this. I think it's a very interesting story. So this is what the story says. I have been cheating on my wife. He's 34. She's 35. For the last 3 years, I'm not going to tell you people to cheat, but just share my experience. Intimacy was good at the beginning of the marriage and decreased more every year. After the birth of our daughter, it became non existent. Zero, nada. I do not remember how many discussions I had about this with her, but she dismissed my pleadings. Before I started cheating, we were having PDSEX every 3 months, maybe. Jesus, quarterly quota. I started cheating during. Can you guys see it? Let me zoom in a little.
I can see it. I think you should just read it
Yeah,
because
yeah. I started cheating during business trips, then it escalated to casual hookups. That's the only reason I can continue. That's the only reason I can continue with the marriage. I used to be irritated all the time, and it affected the family. Now, right here, I'm a better dad. No unnecessary arguments. I feel free. I stopped asking for intimacy. And voila, she was happy first. What I see that she's very nervous around me. She even started initiating it. Oh, I would have probably left if we didn't have a child, but it came to this point, unfortunately. It's a heavy topic.
it's a very heavy topic.
What you see in the comments is very interesting. People are split, as they usually are. It's his fault, it's her fault.
It's a binary. It's binary. Yeah.
As usual. As usual. No one thinks on their feet, right?
Yeah. Well, what do I think about this? I've heard this uh, stories like this in the past,
Mhm.
but I've heard more stories where it was destructive. Because the point is, when you everything's all fine and dandy until it's not, and when it's not, it's gonna be very catastrophic, right? So usually, what you see is that the side person will want more. I don't think so. So the side chick would want more. I
Mhm.
don't think a side dude will. A side dude will be perfectly fine
They are
with
perfectly fine with the
sending you
situation.
back home. Yeah,
I'm not paying for you, baby. I'm just giving you the corn.
yeah. But the problem with that is that yes, it's great for a time being, but when the wife finds out, either because you're changing your patterns or because the side chick will just go and tell, hey, by the way, I've converted and to Christianity, and I need to come clean.
Why do they always do that?
Your husband is a piece of ish, and when they divorce, she'll come right in and try to marry that piece of ish. So it's yeah, I think it's very complicated, to be honest. It's all fine and dandy until it's not anymore. And when
Yeah.
it's not, then you have, the relationship, the pain, the betrayal, you have kids involved. So it becomes a lot more complicated. Uh I don't know if that's what your thoughts are. I'm curious to know what the people are saying as well, to be honest.
Let's look at what the people are saying. So we have first D D Lee Shay Slay. Sounds like 10 Aquarius, but okay. The issue is that a lot of men only think with their ding dong, with their pee. Is she going to PPD? Are you turning her on? Are you doing anything to keep the fire besides just wanting your PP wet? Women outnumber men at such high rate that our desires don't matter because there's always a willing participant of woman to fulfill any other woman's man's desires. A man that can't control his flesh is a dangerous man. As soon as one of his hookups fall in love and start acting crazy, I hope his wife leaves him. I hope she finds a man that genuinely loves her and tries to understand her. I'm sure he's lacking somewhere as well. Oof. But he's going to run into the right one.
He's going to run. Also, the last one is saying that it's the wife's fault, basically.
Well, he seems to point his way first.
Yeah.
And then when they break up, he'll find someone. They both will find someone that fits their needs.
Yo, the person who are for him might be side chicks in their own relationship. So
Hey. But the
I
thing
think,
is, this, right? I
yeah,
think so. So if you read the story, it was all fine and dandy up until they got the kid. So at that point, it seems something changed. And if you think about it, there was no problem before the kid. There was a problem after. So something changed within her. Then again, you can always talk to each other. He tried to plead. What the heck is this? He tried to plead with her to find a solution. So they talked about it, and nothing changed. It only changed when he seems to be happy. He was not pleading anymore. Maybe it tells you a story that you can learn a thing or two about this.
yeah,
Maybe you shouldn't beg. You should just ignore
yeah. I don't
and
think,
go by your day
yeah.
and don't. Begging is. Don't want to say this.
But I don't think he was saying that he was. I don't think. First of all, I don't think he was saying that he was begging. But I think it's very difficult to ha- have too much time on your hands. So if you're, I do think that you shouldn't. That's what they say, right? When you chase, they go
Is
away. When you
funding
don't,
begging?
yeah, well, yeah, it is.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you, but you're trying to gaslight me. I'm reading. I was talking. You started talking. I was like, let me read this real quick. I think I read pleading.
Yeah, it was really, yeah, yeah, that's
He
begging.
was on his knees.
No, but no, but but what was he
Can
pleading?
you slice?
Come on, man. What is
Can you slice? Please.
what what was he pleading? What was he pleading for?
Let me open it up. Let me open it up.
I can read it. So if you do, I don't.
So he says, after the birth of our daughter, it became non-existent. I do not remember how many discussions I had about it with her, but she dismissed my pleadings. Before I started cheating, we were having pity sex every 3 months, maybe. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. What are we doing?
Yeah,
People,
I
people,
think it's, yeah.
people delete their own. You have to don't only think for yourself, right?
So I think it's more when there are kids involved, it becomes more challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And if both of you are working and you don't have someone to help you at home, it's gonna be very difficult to do anything. It's gonna be very difficult to um, be in the mood. Not for the man, but for the woman. So you mentioned something changing the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely changing the woman. but probably changing the well, for men it's different because we can separate the things. We can be tired and still, but women need to be emotionally,
Engaged.
yeah. Now,
You
I do
gotta
think that,
play,
yeah,
you gotta play some Usher
yeah, but
and
I
let
do
it
say,
burn.
yeah, but I do
Not
think,
after your side piece though.
yeah, but I do think that I think the woman, so women should put effort.
Yeah.
Women should put effort. The If you're just gonna wait until everything is, if you're gonna wait until the right moment, it's not gonna happen. Especially the more busier you get, it's never going to happen. So you need to consciously make time to, you know, put the effort to do it. Put effort in. But and for the man, it's different. You need to put effort in the intangible things, right? The non-physical things.
Yeah.
Attention, flower, talking, those type of things. And it's only with those two that you can make it happen. I think what happened when he got a side chick was that he wasn't really expressing the need anymore unconsciously.
Mhm.
And that's what turned her on. Because begging, when he was pleading, like I said, when you chase, they run. If you don't chase, they come. It's I don't know why it's like that, but it is like that. Don't laugh. Don't make that joke. So so but he could have done it in a more constructive way as well, right? Just keep busy, just do other things. So you can still be busy and
Yeah.
not have an affair. But yeah, I do think it's both.
One thing, and I want to be fair as well, right? There's this thing that's called what's it called? Postpartum depression, which also happens quite a lot, but people don't know it's happening. So I think it's always handy to go to a psychologist or a therapist or therapist, how you want to call it. Actually, we have to diagnose whether you have it or not, because then you can find a solution. Try to find whether you have it. If the libido goes down during after you get a kid, go see a doctor, man, because that's maybe what's your problem at that moment. A problem. I'm not trying to say it's a problem, but I hope you guys understand. It's like a condition in a sense. So I think that's important to get that right. Because I do agree with you on that.
Yeah.
And it's both sides. It's not only one side. It's
Yeah.
not either or. It's a relationship. You gotta do it with two. Or
Yep.
if you have a third person, three.
Yeah.
Or you start a community of
Yeah.
four.
Yeah. I do think, however, and this is gonna be my last
Or make
comment.
it five.
I do think, however, and this is gonna be my last comment. The more and more I think about it, the more I understand that. The more I think that I don't believe in polygamy as such. I don't believe in monogamy as such. But I do believe in. I do believe that if you look at nature, if you look at if you have like a man that can support, for example, three women, so purely financially, right? So if the man can purely financially support three women,
Mhm.
and doesn't mean that he has three women, but he can. So I'm just saying financially, he has the ability to do it. Oftentimes, that man will get approached three times as much by women compared to the man that can support a woman. So I think if you just look, if you see that, I think there's a number, right? A majority of women go for 20 or 25% of men. So they have babies by 30% of men, something like that. Or
Yeah, it was
they
pretty very limited. Yeah.
yeah, so it's pretty limited. So you always have so the woman's interest is always in the top 20%, top 10%. It's always at the top. And the top can oftentimes take care of more than one as well. So I understand the polygamy aspect. And I'm not saying this because when people say polygamy, they say, I can see it already. Oh, it's just about the sex. No, I'm not talking about the physical. I'm talking about the relationship. So the relationship, because a marriage is a responsibility towards someone. At the
Polygamy
same
is not
time,
polyamorous, right? It's not the same.
no, polyamorous is
I'm just making sure you
yeah, polygamy is one man has a relationship with multiple, so one relationship with each woman, and a polyamorous is everyone's doing everything with each other and everyone's broke. So, so but I do think at the
what
same
is a
time
polyglot?
that's someone that can speak multiple languages, right?
Yeah. So if you're a polyamorous, that's a polyglot. Make sure you have your conolingus right.
Yeah, but I do think that at the same time you have to take your environment is very important, and in the West we don't live in a polygamous society.
No.
So it's impossible. I believe it's very challenging to do so, and I don't know if I would want that, because everyone is trained to be with one person, if that. So
Keyword trained,
yeah, yeah,
which is trained can also be untrained.
yeah. And more people, yes, yes, but at the same time, more people, more responsibility. So you need to be able to carry the responsibility as well. Yeah,
You have to play it in a team. It's a team effort in that case,
if you do it. Yeah.
if you do it. But yeah, man, I think we can close this topic and also close the show. So
All right. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Whatever your thoughts are, let us know in the comment section below. Rate the show by pressing the like button. Share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you stay up to date when we drop new videos. With that being said, it's been a pleasure, and we'll see each other in the next one. Until next time, peace.
peace.